Young Drunk!
Hey, well, welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 Men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Len, a.k.a. the Bat Tribble. And as always, I'm joined by my partner.
Hey, this is Vincent Williams.
It is still April, which means that we are still celebrating Afrofuturism and black science fiction in the very special month that we call Octavia April.
Yes, sir.
And tonight we are digging onto Vincent's list to bring you a certified cult classic of blacks in science fiction.
Absolutely.
And why is it a certified cult classic? It's because this is really the movie that picked up the baton that was laid down by one of the great science fiction movies of the 80s and made it the long-spanning franchise.
Absolutely.
That it is today.
Iconic franchise.
From 1990, Danny Glover does battle against Predator 2 tonight, right here on the mission for our review. As always, we are streaming live from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace, to all points north, south, east, and west, including YouTube, where each and every one of you are out there in the chat. Hello, missionary.
Good evening, one and all.
All right. Vincent.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot to cover tonight.
We do.
So
big night. Big night.
Jump right in. And I see the missionaries are in the chat, and they are starting us off exactly where we wanted to go.
Absolutely.
Robert Monroe Jr. asking, how many times have you seen Sinners?
Sinners.
The Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan film, which debuted this weekend. It reigned as the #1 movie domestically with $45.6 million. It made over $60 million worldwide.
Yes, it did.
Vincent, did you see Sinners?
I did. I did indeed see Sinners.
Yes, I saw Sinners too. So, in a word, how would you describe your experience with Sinners?
A word, one word, spectacle.
Ooh,
Spectacle in the actual sense of the word, as it is a feast for the senses. For you know, the hearing and sight, like it really is. I think you and I talk a lot about theater, the theater as a form. You know, we watch these movies. The vast majority of the time, we watch them on our computers, on the television, sometimes on our tablets, and we talk about some films, how they hit differently on the big screen. I mean, that's part of the reason that you and I are really passionate about our screening series, because there are some films that you should see on the big screen when you have the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And this is absolutely one of those films. You know, I've heard people talk about seeing the 7mm on a 70mm screen, and certainly in IMAX. And I think this is a film that you need to see.
Which did you see it at?
I saw it IMAX.
Oh, you did see it in
I
IMAX.
did see
See,
it in
I
IMAX.
didn't see it in IMAX, and I want to go see it in IMAX.
Yeah, I didn't see it in IMAX. I'm going again this
Oh, you
Thursday.
didn't see it in IMAX?
No, I did see it.
okay.
I saw it in IMAX the first time I saw it. I'm going back Thursday, and just the way the timing has fallen, I'm going to watch a standard viewing.
Okay.
But I am going to see it in IMAX at least one more time.
Okay.
Hopefully before it, you know, because I'm hoping they don't do this modern practice of pull it after like 2 or 3 weeks.
No. It probably will be in the theaters, especially with the reception that it's receiving. It'll probably be in the theaters no less than 60 days.
Right. And, yeah, I'm definitely going to see it on IMAX at least one more time, and then we'll talk about there's a reason that we have to go see it again anyway. So
Yes. We
I don't know if you want to do that yet because we're still talking. Did you see it?
Well, I did see it. I did see it.
And how would you describe it in a word?
My word would be, it would be a compound word that I'm creating right here.
Okay.
Blacktherial.
Blacktherial.
Yes. Because it is at once truly a black film that is steeped in the black experience.
Absolutely.
You know, in our history, and also in our mythos, right?
Absolutely.
But there is definitely an ethereal atmosphere that happens in this movie. And not just because at its heart it's, horror, because it is a vampire film.
Right.
You know,
which I kind of wish we didn't know.
Kind of like going in, right?
Right. Like I think it is a film, not to cut you off, but the less you know going in, the harder it hits.
Well, you say that, but I actually like that that it's a vampire film, because it is one of those movies that it is so steeped in blackness and what makes, us so rich as people and speaks to us so specifically, right? It is one of those films that if the general public outside of, African Americans saw it, could very easily dismiss it. Oh, that's not for us. But because it is a vampire movie, I feel that will bring all of the horror fans into the theater, and that just makes that word of mouth that much more expansive.
Okay, I'll go along with that. I do wonder if that Ryan Coogler Michael B. Jordan combination wouldn't have been enough. But as I was thinking about it, I don't know if they, like, everything that they've been in
is IP,
but except for Fruitville Station, of course. But then that's the beginning of But you're right. It's okay. All right, I'll take that.
Yeah, but also it's a horror movie. That is a horror movie. Like, he plays fair with it.
I'm going to keep going with you that it's a horror movie. I don't think it's that scary.
Okay.
Is it as scary as Get Out?
See, I didn't find, you have to define scary. Like, I didn't think that Get Out was scary.
I thought scared.
No, I thought Get Out was thrilling. It was a thriller. It was suspenseful.
It was suspenseful. And
this movie, I guess it's not scary, but it is suspenseful.
Yes.
But that in the combination with its and by I mean being definitively a horror movie, is that it's gory, right? It plays fair. If you went in wanting a horror movie,
right,
it's a horror movie.
Horror there, but
it's deeper.
It's not like Saw.
No, exactly. Yeah. Not at all. Yeah. But it is a fantastic experience. It's transformative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good word, transformative.
And this is another thing that you don't really hear in horror movies. You don't really hear about movies in general, but let me tell you, missionaries, Sinners is sexy.
It's the blues.
It's the blues. It's the blues because it's musical. It damn near is a musical.
Well,
but it is so sexy, man. It is so sexy. And I saw it. My partner was the first one to say it, even though I did read it in a review later, but she was the first one to say it. It is so powerful to see the love that is displayed on screen in this film, and especially the love and affection.
Easy. I'm sorry. I think people need to go in, but
okay. All right. Because we're going.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
But if you are interested in hearing our extended thoughts on this film,
tell them.
I wanted to review it perhaps in the next few weeks. But I know that if we postponed Mother May I, we might have some real situations. So Mother May I is intact.
Yes.
But as Lynn mentioned, this is a film so steeped in the blues, almost to the point that you could say it is a musical.
Yes.
That June,
it's Black Music Month.
And so we will be talking about Sinners in June.
Yes, we will be reviewing Sinners in June. So you have all this time to go see it. And like Vincent said, see this in a theater. See it if you can in IMAX. Ryan Coogler, who is a huge fan, a proponent of film, shot this movie in IMAX.
Yes, he did.
So it is not like, been converted.
And you can tell.
You can absolutely tell.
You can tell.
Absolutely tell. And there's another thing. And then I'll get off of this.
Okay.
I'll get off of this. There has been some talk, some articles that have been bantied about as successful as this movie has been, Variety wrote up some type of, article, or I think a New York Times.
Well, it was definitely Variety, because we whooped up on Variety for their...
About how, it's maybe not quite, going to be as profitable or a long way from profitability.
It was racist.
It was because the movie,
the way they covered it was racist when you compare how they have covered similar films.
Exactly.
That were made by white creatives.
Exactly.
It was racist.
It was absolutely racist. What they basically said is that the movie cost Warner Brothers $90 million. Then on top of that, there is a marketing budget that is put on top of that. They didn't name the figure, but let's round that out to $20 million. So you put it at $115 million, someplace in there. And this movie made $60 million worldwide, like I mentioned. 60 plus.
In 3 days.
And the line in the article was that it was still a far way from being profitable. And that is absolutely racist when you think about, and their argument was because it made $45 million domestically, but only $15 million or so overseas.
Look, stop. You're doing a lot of numbers right now.
Well,
the bottom line is when they covered another movie like this, specifically Once Upon a Time,
which is what I was going to get to.
Is America, which had in
Hollywood,
which had the exact same kind of metrics, and not for nothing, this was a film that came out before the pandemic.
Exactly.
They were much more optimistic, hopeful, and
it's all about it's just a big hit,
right? And it's pattern of the way the coverage of our art is framed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's racist. Like we all, you know what? We all got to tiptoe around. Like, it kills me that we're more sort of timid to call somebody racist than people are being racist.
Yeah.
It was racist, and people rightfully called them out all weekend, and then you get all these positive articles that came out.
Mm-hmm. In defense of it.
And not for nothing, this film has legs.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's got, like, the word of mouth is through the roof for this.
Absolutely.
So
so go see Sinners in theaters. Tell a friend, bring all your family, bring the kids.
Which is also just an opportunity to say, this has been my thing for years here on this show. We got to stop listening to white people about our art. Frankly, stop paying attention to them.
You're right.
Did you see what happened with the Oscars?
No, what happened?
Oh, well, you didn't see what happened with the Oscars? No, where there's a new rule now, where the Oscars said...
Oh, no, I did see that.
Yeah. The Oscars said that now they made a new form. They have a brand new rule.
Now a rule.
It is now a requirement. Now, today...
Yes.
It is a requirement that for you to vote
To maintain your vote, to keep your vote,
you have to prove that you have watched all the nominated films.
all the nominated films in your
your
category. Absolutely.
But the fact that they had to have formal guidelines for that.
Well, first of all, to be honest, the fact that that wasn't a formal guideline already. But you know what?
People have said for years, this has been the scuttlebutt for years.
Yeah.
That people weren't watching all the nominees.
Yeah, we know.
And we know when it's a black nominee,
That could care less.
this will be my lens during May, by the way. Films that reach for the Oscars and films that got the Oscar, and yet both still should be shown in May.
Well, that's your lens. I just found 2 black movies.
Yeah.
That stink.
Oh, these are 2 black movies that stink.
I don't think they were reaching for anyone.
These are definitely 2 black movies that stink. Oh no, both of these movies were Oscar bait.
Okay, yeah, but mine weren't.
No, yours weren't.
Mine weren't.
Which
Mine were by the same director.
Which I would argue make mine worse. But I guess that's May.
That's May.
That's May.
But we're in April.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're getting way, way ahead of ourselves. Let's hear from you, missionaries, with your thoughts, or as we like to call them,
Missives from the missionaries. So what else is going on, Lynn?
we have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Missives. Let's try that again.
Okay. It's a hard word because it's an M and then those S's come immediately.
Missives from the missionaries.
It's like a V in there for some reason.
Yeah, it's needlessly complicated. Oh God, it's going to be a night. Missives from the missionaries. They won't be falling asleep to my voice tonight. Vincent, we got one from our good friend, associate producer of the Micheaux Mission, Mo Poplar.
What's up, Mo?
Y'all call my name, and like the Timu Candyman, here I am.
Okay.
Is Frankenstein the earliest black horror film? No. I submit Birth of a Nation is.
How about that?
But Frankenstein is interesting because whereas the novel is very much about race, the movie is not, or at least it wasn't meant to be. But a lot of people read the race into the film Frankenstein. Maybe it was the source material. Maybe it was the lynch mob chasing the creature with pitchforks. Maybe it was the creature's lumbering gait taken from the scary black people in Birth of a Nation. Either way, 3 years later, when the film's sequel comes out, in The Bride of Frankenstein, director James Whale leans way into racial tropes, having multiple scenes of the creature being chased by a white mob. He's lynched and burned at a stake, white folks' second favorite pastime with free black folks. And the female creature is in love with Victor Frankenstein, and she wishes to transgress and be with a white man, a popular stereotype for black women at the time. What was white folks' favorite pastime with black folks? Sex, it appears. So, in my opinion, y'all should consider reviewing Frankenstein. It's in that gray area, but not as high on the list as Blade Runner. But y'all must review the 1935 The Bride of Frankenstein. It is very much a black film. All right, like that tour de force performance from Shaquille O'Neal and Kazam, poof, my work here is done. Take care, missionaries. Mo P.
I've never thought of Frankenstein as a black movie.
Or The Bride, to be fair.
I mean, certainly not The Bride.
What do you think?
All I can add is the novel, there's some evidence that there was some correspondence between Mary Shelley and Frederick Douglass. Like, I know you read race a little bit in Frankenstein, and you can actually read a little Frankenstein in Frederick Douglass. But I never thought about the movie. That's interesting. Don't threaten me with a good time. Oh, wow, I guess we gotta go watch Frankenstein. Oh, no. Do you like Frankenstein?
I do.
The movie?
Yeah, I love it.
How you feel about The Bride?
I love it too.
You love The Bride of Frankenstein.
I do. I don't think. I mean,
Interesting.
I first of all, I of all the Universal movies, those are the two that I continually rewatch.
Really?
Dracula bores me.
Dracula bores you.
Dracula bores me.
I love Dracula.
I love Bela Lugosi.
No, I love Dracula.
It bores me. The Wolfman is fun.
That's solid.
But it's been a minute since I just don't go to it as much.
Sure.
What happens when I watch The Wolfman is I'm watching it and it gets to his first change and I'm like, you know what? Now I want to see him in Abbott Costello. And then I go to Abbott Costello. Me too.
Sure.
But Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, I return to both of those all the time. I love them both.
I think I'll have to swing around and watch them again because I'm definitely a Dracula man. And I like Frankenstein a lot, but...
When's the last time you've seen it? It's been a minute, right?
It's probably been over a decade.
Because I think it is far superior to Dracula.
Okay.
Because the problem with Dracula is because it was a stage play, it's shot like the stage.
But to me, that's okay. That's what makes me like it, though.
Okay.
How you feel about The Creature from the Black Lagoon? And then we are going to move on.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Actually scared me when I was a kid.
I can see it
Of
scaring
these
somebody.
films, that's the one that I don't go back to because I have like this
It
kind of
triggers your
visceral.
little vintage.
Yeah.
No. I understand that.
Yeah. It actually scared me.
See, that's how I feel about Charlie Chaplin movies. They scared me.
It's the mustache.
I think I told you. I used to watch Charlie Chaplin movies in my basement at my house. And one time my mom, while I was downstairs watching Charlie Chaplin, didn't think that anybody was in the basement. So she just turned off the light.
Why did basements only have like that one light?
That light switch right at the top. Right?
Hey, why was it at the top?
At the top. Right?
Like that one light bulb for the whole basement.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm all the way on the other end of the basement.
Of course, because that's where the TV was.
And of course, she turned off the light. So now I'm watching TV in the dark. Oh, I'm in the movies. So I don't care. So I'm watching Charlie Chaplin. But now it's time for me to go upstairs.
You can't leave the TV on.
And can't leave the TV
Can't
on.
leave the TV on.
And dude, you can't tell me Charlie Chaplin ain't in the dark area of that basement about to come and just mollywop me with his cane.
Right. but like very rhythmically.
Yeah, that's exactly how I saw him coming out.
Like very rhythmically. Oh boy. All right.
Okay. All right. So
thank you, Maurice.
So I'll come to your house and we'll watch Frankenstein and Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin movies. Right. With the light on.
In our blankets.
Yeah.
All right, we got an email from Court.
Hey, what's up, Court?
Greetings, Len, Vincent, and the missionaries. At the time of this writing, I am currently reading Parables of the Sower by Octavia Butler.
Always a good time.
While blasting the live album from one of my favorites, the ever beautiful and talented Layla Hathaway.
Okay.
With some herbs and candles in the background.
All right.
This past weekend, I listened again to Nas' debut album, Illmatic, and thought to myself, a question for you both. Has there been an album as cross-generational, impactful, and just a classic overall like Illmatic? The easy answer will be yes. Think of an album like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That's what I was going to go to.
By Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
That came out in 1998. And almost 30 years later, people are still talking about it. Because she ain't put out and else out. For the newer generation, there's Control by SZA, or CTRL, or Channel Orange by Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
Which debut album can you both think of that matches the qualifications of Illmatic? It can be hip hop or any genre of music. I was also going to list a Tribe Called Quest album, but that came later with the Low End Theory and Midnight Marauders. Their first album gave us Bonito Applebum and Can I Kick It, but the group was just testing the waters. I hope this email finds you well, and sorry that it is long. It is not. Have a good rest of the week from a missionary, Court.
All right.
Well,
cross-generational debut album.
Okay, see the cross-generational is where you've gotta think. And I guess no, that wasn't his debut album. I was going to say Michael Jackson's album, which now I'm just drawing a blank on the
Thriller,
the one before.
Oh, Off the Wall.
Off the Wall.
Yeah,
but that's not his debut album.
Yeah,
actually.
and I don't know if that's. Yeah, it's not though.
Yeah, because he had one as a Little Michael. But thinking about crossing the generations, well, I will say that according to my older sister, the Beatles crossed generations.
Oh, I mean, of course.
With their debut album.
Yeah. Now that's interesting.
Like black people.
So you're talking about Meet the Beatles. Like
yeah.
I don't know if that's the one that crosses generations.
Well, I'm just thinking according to my sister, like her friends, her group, like black girls, they were playing that song. They loved the Beatles.
Well, that's not cross-generational. That's maybe cross.
Well, I mean, but people still loved it, still cape for it.
Yeah, nobody's really. I
guess they don't
disagree
see
with
it as
right.
it's not the Grail of
right,
the
right,
Beatles
right.
anymore.
Exactly.
Okay,
They don't talk about Meet the Beatles.
Yeah, because they're all on there.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
See, the debut is what jams you up.
So what debut still is the one people go to for you? Then would that be Eminem's?
I don't know how much Eminem resonates with 20-year-olds.
Okay.
Like Lauryn Hill is actually the perfect one. Like the kids love Lauryn Hill.
I don't know. Let's ask Dylan. Do you love Lauryn Hill? Of course I do. All right. Well, there you go.
Frank Ocean. Yeah, she actually took both of my guesses.
SZA and Frank Ocean, or Lauryn Hill?
Lauryn Hill and Frank Ocean. I would argue SZA hasn't been around long enough for us to say that she's cross-generational. I want to think about it.
I don't know.
I want to think about it. I don't have an answer.
I don't know.
Because debut is what's jamming me up.
Yeah, because it's got to be... So,
like out the gate.
So let me make sure that I'm understanding the question. Is that the artist's debut,
right, comes out, captures the imagination of the current listening audience, and then 10, 15, 20 years passes, and another micro generation or generation still has them in a stranglehold.
But their debut, even. Their debut still has them in the stranglehold,
right?
As opposed to something else in their discography,
right?
Okay. And and that now I'm getting the context of it, and I can see it because Illmatic definitely is the one everyone goes to for.
Like you fool around with one of these young people will have an album cover that looks like Illmatic. Ready to Die.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Ready to Die.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Biggie.
Ready to Die. I mean, quite honestly, Enter the 36 Chambers.
That's another good
one. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Now, I don't think this generation, I don't think they cape for Wu-Tang like that.
As somebody who's with 19-year-olds all day.
Okay, they do?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, if I had a nickel for every Wu-Tang t-shirt that I saw, I'd have a lot of nickels.
Wu-Tang t-shirts is not necessarily listening to the music, to be fair.
No, true. But Wu-Tang Clan, and quite honestly, it really is just Enter the 36 Chambers.
It is. You're absolutely right.
Like ain't nobody really talking about Bobby Digital or Takao.
You're absolutely right.
So.
You're absolutely right. 3 Feet High and Rising? De La Soul?
I think they would have, but I do think there is a gap because they weren't streaming for so long.
Yeah.
I think people are kind of catching back up to it. But
yeah, that's a good one. I see in the chat, Farrell Blackwell says that it pains me to say, but might we consider R. Kelly's debut? Ain't nobody caping for R. Kelly's debut.
What is that? Is that 12 play?
No, that's not 12 play. His debut.
Wait, so that's R. Kelly in public announcement?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, nobody's talking about R. Kelly in public announcement.
No. One other one I'll say.
Speaking of people crashing and burning before your very eyes, I think College Dropout has had people in a stranglehold since it came out. And is that 20 years old yet?
It's got to be.
Yeah, so, College Dropout.
Yeah. I was actually just going to say, going deeper in the crates, Brand Nubian's debut.
No.
But it didn't have the hold, yeah.
Brand Nubian didn't have our whole generation in a stranglehold.
I know. All right. Good question, though.
Good question.
Thank you, Court. All right, we've got another email, Vincent. This one is from Michael Sykes.
Hey, Michael.
Hello, Len, Vincent, missionaries. Y'all post about Bruno Mars becoming like Morris Day is getting very famous. Morris Day reposted it on his Instagram saying that he would like to do a versus, and Philly's own Questlove disagrees with Vincent, commenting saying, nah. I don't know if you saw this, missionaries, but yes, we did a short. Shout out to our good editor, Dylan, who edited it up.
Sure.
That exploded on social media. I think last time I looked, over 35,000 views, which is explosion for us. So don't at our numbers. And yes, Morris Day actually championed it. He was like, he wants to do a versus against Morris Day, against Bruno Mars.
Sure.
And this made me do a deeper dive a little bit. And I got to say, I see a little bit of what you're saying. I think I still lean on Questlove's side of like, nah, but I get where you're coming from with it.
If Questlove has a musical opinion and I have a musical opinion and you have to take someone's advice, you should probably take Questlove's advice. But I'm also very secure disagreeing with Questlove.
So you're saying with your chest that you disagree?
I'm absolutely saying it with my chest.
You disagree with?
I disagree with Questlove.
All right.
Now, again, as an objective, obviously Questlove knows more about music than I do. And, his expert opinion is more expert than mine.
True.
But I absolutely disagree with him.
Michael Sykes continues, I recently listened to your episode Beat Street, and I just want to say it was excellent. Your insights were spot on, especially in describing the film as a time capsule. The characters, storytelling, and soundtrack all come together to create a pivotal moment in hip-hop culture. While I enjoy breaking, I feel that Beat Street offers more heart and soul. Amen. It delves deeper into the lives and passions of its characters, making it resonate on a more emotional level. Ramon's death scene in particular left a lasting impression on me. Even now, it still sends chills down my spine. His character embodies the dedication and risk that many real-life graffiti artists faced during that era, especially with the dangers of the third rail. It's a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made for art. Thank you for shedding light on this film and its significance. Your discussion truly honored its legacy. Warm regards, Michael Sykes.
Thank you, Michael.
Appreciate you. It's a very good email. Thank you. We got another email, Vincent. This is from Michael Lockett.
Hey, what's up, Michael?
Greetings, my brothers and fellow missionaries. I am so happy that you two started with Men in Black 2 as opposed to Men in Black. Quick note about that. I had noted last week that our review of Men in Black, which was done at Blurred City Con, was not recorded.
Yeah.
It was, in fact, recorded.
Ha-ha!
It was on another hard drive.
Oh.
And I found it.
Okay.
And it has been posted today on our audio feed on Mission Logs. You can listen to our review at Blurred City Con, live from Blurred City Con, of Men in Black with Ryan Sands
Very
of
nice.
Marvel's The Runaways.
Very nice.
Fun interview.
Yeah. What's up, Ryan?
All right. Michael continues. This film, Men in Black 2, required significantly more work for everyone involved and overall was a fun watch. Not as fun as the OG, but making a great sequel is very hard. Where Men in Black excelled as jet propulsion for Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, Men in Black 2 seemed like all the major players used this film to get an extra check or get guild membership for someone. Barry Sonnenfeld, Tommy Lee Jones, Will Kidd Smiths all appear in the film. That's very true. It's a fun movie, and you can see the star power dynamic shift from the first film from Smith to Jones here. The animated series should have been the direction they took, or a TV show a la The X-Files, with Lee and Jones either at the helm or making cameos, while other actors were given a chance to tell these type of quirky sci-fi murder stories. On my time travels, Mother May I kicked my ass again. I landed with you two on Carmen, a hip hopera.
Yeah. Carmen the Hip Hopper.
I didn't see this when it came out in 2001. I mean, when you can pick from Bones, How High, Baby Boy, and Pootie Tang, are you going to settle on Carmen, a hip hopera?
A hip opera.
This was a real bad debut for Beyonce. As much as I'd like to hang this on anyone else, I think the ownership has to fall on Robert Townsend. If the script needed work before they went to camera, you got to fix that shit. If the lyrics have to be fixed, God damn it, let the actual rappers write their rhymes. They're wordsmiths supreme. Just give them the essence of the scene and turn them loose. You might have had one of the all-time greatest soundtracks with the people involved. Even though Black Hollywood got the short end of the stick in 2001 for financing, marketing, and distribution, was 2001 the best overall year for film releases, in your opinion? With Carmen, a hip opera. There was also Ali, Emily, Exit Wounds, Blow, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Black Hawk Down, Shallow Hal, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Harry Potter, and A Beautiful Mind. All the best, Michael Lockett. Of those films that you mentioned that came out in 2001, these are the ones that I will say were excellent films. Blow, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Black Hawk Down, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Still one of my favorite movies.
I myself am iffy on A Beautiful Mind, but I know some people cape for A Beautiful Mind.
Always thought it was overrated.
Harry Potter, good, but I don't necessarily think it was great. I think they progressively got better. Ali.
Wait, you haven't seen Ali?
I haven't seen Ali.
Right, you can't speak on Ali.
I can't speak on Ali.
All right.
I can't speak on Ali. Emily, I didn't see. Exit Wounds, I didn't see.
I saw Exit Wounds.
Shallow Hal, come on, man. Yeah. So I don't know if 2001 was, I would call that the best overall year for film releases. Off the top of my head, I think you can find better years.
I will say it is refreshing to look at these random years and just how many original films came out. Like we were so spoiled. Like nothing was attached to an IP. Nothing is a sequel. I don't think. Well, I guess Harry Potter. So Harry Potter
and Fellowship of the Rings is
I guess that's the oldest of IPs. But it's a lot of original kind of ideas and things. So.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But yeah.
But thank you for that email, Michael.
Thank you.
We got one more email, Vincent.
All right.
This is from Anthony Davis.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Hey, guys. In terms of Predator 2, I'm pretty lukewarm on it. The action is good, but the story is just okay. However, the scene where the bystanders on the subway all put out their guns was perfect 90s action movie schlock.
Yep.
No notes. But watching Predator 2 today and Sinners last week made me think, possible Sinners spoilers here.
Oh, read it before you read it out loud. Is it actually a spoiler?
No, it's not. about how far the portrayal of black spiritual practices
I was thinking that
have
today.
come in the last 30 years.
Yeah. Sinners actually has, if you look at the credits, they have a hoodoo consultant.
Yes, they do.
I don't believe Predator 2 has a hoodoo consultant when they created the character of King Willie, who's the head of the Jamaican voodoo posse.
No. I don't believe, I didn't see that in the
I don't know if King Willie, who's the head of the Jamaican voodoo posse, is culturally accurate.
Or is he based on a real...
Or based on a true person who was referred to as King Willie, who's the head of the Jamaican voodoo posse, who can tell the future by taking out literally 6 chicken wing bones out of his pocket. Yeah, I don't know if there was a hoodoo consultant on the set of Predator 2. I'm not sure, though. My research didn't turn up anything.
Anthony continues.
Okay.
In this, like many movies of that time, black spiritual practices are usually only under the purview of the villains. Considering that you guys grew up with many stereotypical depictions of black spiritualities, what do you guys think of the change over time in the black spirituality being portrayed on screen? I think the modern depiction of these beliefs, whether in Ryan's films or in shows like Lovecraft Country, are dope. But I gotta admit, I did feel some type of way at Sinners juxtaposing some of this belief against other spiritual beliefs, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Yes.
But it was Easter weekend. He didn't have to do us like that.
Right. All right. Okay. Easy.
Love the show. Keep doing all your things. Anthony Davis.
Thank you, Anthony. You know, I've thought about choosing Live and Let Die for this exact reason. Because
the James Bond movie.
Yeah, because the Live and Let Die is breathtakingly racist.
Okay, is that the most racist James Bond, or is it the other one that's set in like he goes to Harlem? What's the one where he goes to Harlem?
That's not Live and Let Die?
Oh, is that? Oh, that is Live and Let Die.
You know how I know? Because there's only one James Bond movie filled with black people.
Black people,
Yeah.
Okay, that is.
That's
Live and Let Die. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jane Seymour plays.
Yes.
She plays the voodoo priestess. Because we must have the white woman who must be in charge.
Yes, you heard that. Jane Seymour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dr. Quinn.
Yeah.
Medicine woman.
Right.
As the voodoo priestess in Live.
She's a voodoo priestess in Live and Let Die. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Don't do it.
Oh, I'm 100% choosing Live and Let Die at some point. Like at some point.
Vincent.
Oh, I'm 100% doing it.
I do not want to watch that movie.
Tough.
Okay.
You are absolutely watching Live and Let Die.
Okay.
I mean, you say okay, like you're not gonna pick something I don't want.
Exactly.
Right. You always pick stuff I don't want to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty much every movie.
Right. Not every movie, but Lynn's old timey Negro review.
Let me go to public domain and watch one of Len's movies.
Right.
Go to archive.com.
Right. Hey, Smokey, why don't you bring me a sandwich and a cup of Joe? Coming over there right now, boss.
But there's an authenticity.
there's an authenticity to it. There's an authenticity to it. Right.
Well, okay. All right. Well, that's our email. If you want to have your thoughts shared here on The Mission, please send them in to micheauxmission@gmail.com. That's MICHEAUX MISSION @gmail.com. Before we move further along, I invite you, if you're in the Philadelphia area, to join Vincent, me, and our good friend Stephanie Watts on Thursday, May 8th, for the Be Real Micheaux screening series at Bryn Mawr Film Institute, where we will be screening Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Really looking forward to that.
I am looking forward to that.
Really talking about a film that really pops on the big screen.
Yes. Yeah. The big screen. Come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
See Beast of the Southern Wild with us. Tickets are on sale at brynmarfilm.org. And now it is time for the Game of Kings.
That's right. I'm going to pull out some chicken bones and get some answers. Roll the chicken bones.
6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin. I felt so bad for Calvin.
I know.
Oh, how the mighty
I said,
have fallen.
why did they put Calvin Lockhart in that wig? For one scene.
I know.
Because I thought King Willie was in it more. You know, he's the head of the Jamaican voodoo posse.
And now he's just the head.
Now he's just the head. I see what you did there.
6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin, where I give Vincent 2 actors and he has 6 films or less to connect them to D'Urville Martin, the head of whatever posse he wants to be the head of.
He's the head of the Cleveland voodoo posse.
The D'Urvilles.
He just has empty cans of salmon for when somebody made salmon cakes. He just throws empty cans of salmon down. The salmon cans tell me it's the same thing, death. That was from the first draft of the script. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Who we got first?
All right. Keeping this in theme,
Okay.
we are going to be reviewing Predator 2.
We are.
So I have selected 2 actors
Okay.
who are in Predator 2.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
because this is Predator 2,
Okay.
you cannot use Predator 2,
Okay.
and there's another movie. So there's 2 movies that you can't use
What's the
to
other movie?
connect these 2. Well, it's a different movie for each one.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So
All right. Let's go. See what we got.
in 6 movies or less, connect D'Urville Martin,
2.
Ruben Blades.
Ruben Blades. Okay.
And you can't use Predator 2.
Okay. Or
You can't use Mo Better Blues.
can't use Mo Better Blues. Okay. Because of course he's got a great role in Mo Better Blues too.
And I did that seeing that there are other films that I think I have a good guess that you may have seen. So I didn't want to leave you out.
Right. Because Ruben Blades is also in. See, the problem is I just see him in that little hat in Mo Better Blues. Oh, I really like Ruben Blades. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me something that he's in because I can't. Like I just see him in the back of that car saying break his bone, break his legs, break his arms. Yeah,
All right.
I can't. Yeah, that's all I see him. I could barely watch him in this. Because is he in another Spike Lee movie?
I don't see him in a Spike Lee movie. I don't see a Spike Lee movie on his filmography. No, he is, however, in this May.
And then he plays whatchamacallit's dad, I think, on New York Undercover. So now I see him
on television.
On television, and I'm thinking about Lauren Bellas, and I've got it. I like it like that in my head. Yeah, I'm short circuited with Ruben Blades.
This you should be able to do something with this. He was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
The whatchamacallit, Rodriguez in Antonio Banderas. Okay. Because is Danny Trejo in that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so how do I want to do this? D'Urville Martin is in Five on the Black Hand Side with my man in how'd I just lose my man in Boomerang?
Leonard Jackson?
Leonard Jackson. Yeah, he's in with Leonard Jackson. Leonard Jackson is in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is in Shrek with Antonio Banderas.
Nice.
And Antonio Banderas is in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
In Mexico.
With Ruben Blades.
Ruben Blades.
With Ruben Blades.
Very good.
Ruben Blades, yeah.
Very good, Vincenzo.
That's a good one because yeah, I do get immediately, yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
Because he's so good. All right, well, who's next? And what's the movie I can't use?
Next, in 6 films or less, connect D'Urville Martin to Robert Davey. Do you know which actor was Robert Davey? Who was in Predator 2.
Who did he play?
He played the chief of police.
Let me see his face. Because it was a couple of, like, because they're captain and the chief.
But that's the chief. That's him.
And what movie can't I use?
You can't use Predator 2.
Right.
And you can't use The Goonies.
He's another one. Because he plays a heavy sometimes.
He plays a heavy in one of your favorite movies.
Is he in Goodfellas?
No. I'm pretty sure he's not in Goodfellas, no.
What's one of my favorite movies?
I can't get this one. It would be too easy. I can't give you that one.
Because he's like a mobstery guy.
Mm-hmm. He plays a mobster, he plays a villain or a bad guy a lot of times.
All right.
Which is actually threw me off seeing him. I was waiting for the evil turn because he was playing the cop.
Right. Is he in oh, I am having a hard time tonight. Is he in Donnie Brasco?
Ooh, I don't think he's in Donnie Brasco. That's a good one. Donnie. No, he's not in Donnie Brasco.
You know, obviously I didn't look up any of these people. I'm so busy.
Yeah.
Predator stuff.
I was doing this at my peril.
I know. What's he in?
All right, I'm going to give you...
Because I'm just going to name all the mobster movies.
Well, if you do that, you'll never name this. I don't think you saw this one.
Because he's not in Scarface. He's not in Casino. He's not in... Though it seems like he should have been in all of these movies.
He probably should have been. But he's been in every $3 mob movie. He was in... I'm giving you... Maybe you saw this. I don't know. Christopher Columbus, The Discovery.
I did not see that.
Oh, no? You missed that?
Yeah, I missed that one.
How about...
Is it like just 2 hours of him raping 14-year-old native girls and then murdering them and cutting their ears off and making necklaces out of them? Or is that in the director's cut?
No, that's the animated feature.
Got you.
Robert Davey was also in Wild Orchid 2, Two Shades of Blue.
Believe it or not, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that
I
one?
didn't see Wild Orchid 2.
You didn't see White Hot The Mysterious Murder of Thelma Todd?
I did not. I did not.
Oh, well, Vincent.
I did not.
What are you doing?
I look, apparently.
All right, I'm going to give you a movie that
apparently.
I think you saw that he was in.
He's a good one because he's very much somebody who's in everything, but then that means that I never pay attention to him. No, not in a bad way.
Right.
Like he really is, kind of the fabric.
Right. All right. This is a movie I think you saw. Actually, this is a movie I know you saw.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
I can't wait to hear my favorite movie that he's in.
License to Kill.
With Steven Seagal?
No.
Oh, who's License to Kill?
Think about it.
If it's not Steven Seagal, it's is it Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No, we were talking about these movies.
Is this a Bond movie?
Yes.
Which Bond? Oh my goodness, is this Timothy, not Timothy, is it Timothy Dalton?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have fun with Timothy Dalton then.
Well, you got to make sure you get the right movie. I guess
you just said he's in,
because you can get to Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, because I get to Timothy Dalton, because this, I'm always looking for an excuse.
Oh boy,
to talk about Flash Gordon.
Oh God, I knew it.
Come on, dog. You know you can't bring up Timothy Dalton without my talking about Flash Gordon. That goes without saying, because D'Urville Martin. I saw someone say, so D'Urville Martin, I'm so excited because because I can use Mo Better Blues of this. So D'Urville Martin, Dick Anthony Williams, Mo Better Blues, Denzel Washington, American Gangster with Chiwetel Ejiofor. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in Four Brothers with Marky Mark, who's in Ted with Sam Jones. Is this too many?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
I was like,
okay.
You was holding that for a minute.
I know. I know. All right. All right.
So excited.
I am excited. I am excited. All right. So start all over again. Because really, I'm just trying to get the Flash Gordon. I'm just trying to get the Flash Gordon. Okay. Same thing. D'Urville Martin, Dick Anthony Williams, Denzel. Wait, say. Denzel. Shit, that's still going to. Okay. All right, let me see. Where is it? Okay, so.
Just so you can say.
Just so I can talk about Flash. This is 100% the only reason I'm doing this. So I get a Flash Gordon. Shut up. Ah.
Come on, Len. You gotta make the show shorter, Len.
I
You gotta make the show shorter. Come on.
I know.
You and your tangents.
I know. Ah. Because I'm really just trying to get to 10.
It's only just so you can say he was in Flash Gordon.
Because he was in Flash Gordon. He was in Flash Gordon. D'Urville Martin, Dick Anthony Williams, Denzel Washington. Oh no, that's Christopher.
Wrong white guy.
Because now I was trying to get to Max Van Sydow in Van Sydow. I'm actually scrolling through the entire cast of Flash Gordon. Like, I'm trying to get to Brian Blessed. I'm trying to get to Tuval. I'm trying to get to Sam Jones.
Oh, forget it.
Well, Sam Jones, if I get to Ted, I can get to Sam Jones because he's in Ted.
Okay, yeah, all right. Get to Ted, but you got to get to Ted in like 4 movies.
I know.
Actually, 3.
3. I got to get to Ted in 3 moves. I got to get to Ted in... So, if I do...
Just so he could say...
Just so I can say...
Timothy Dalton was in Flash Gordon.
It's true.
So it's not to end at Flash Gordon, you understand?
No.
Flash Gordon is the penultimate film.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. So if I do... Dervo Martin. I do Dervo Martin, Dick Anthony, Denzel.
Oh, God.
Don Cheadle. Marky Mark. Sam Jones. Ah!
I'm trying to think. I'm honestly trying to help you, but I can't come up.
Because even girl who plays his girlfriend in yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Is Max von Sydow in? I think I may be able to help you.
Right, because I'm thinking about Christopher Walken in Inside Man.
I know it's a different movie. Max. Is he in?
Dervo Martin. Let me see. Sidney Poitier. Sammy Davis. Burt Reynolds. No, that's still. We just saw Burt Reynolds in something. What is Burt Reynolds in that we watched?
We did?
We did. Is Burt Reynolds in The Split?
No. Burt Reynolds.
Is Burt Reynolds in, we saw Burt Reynolds in something on here. And he doesn't have a mustache.
Like a young Burt Reynolds.
A young Burt Reynolds is in something that we've watched. And it's a small role.
Okay.
What's the cowboy movie with Jim Brown?
Oh, the one with yes, the one with Raquel Welch.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. Hold on. Yeah. Because he's the third star in that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the third star in that movie. That's a good one. Let's see. Then he does this 100 Rifles. Does that help you?
The problem is that it's not Jim Brown with Dervo Martin. That's Fred Williamson.
Okay, let me go back to where I was looking. I was trying to help you through Max von Sydow, but I was trying to see if he was in this movie I was thinking about. But it doesn't look like he is. No, he's not. Okay. You're not going to be able to.
I know.
So
Is he the Bond when Halle Berry's in it?
no, that's Pierce Brosnan.
That's Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton only did 2 movies.
Yeah, the problem is then
License to Kill and Living Daylights.
and I didn't watch either one of them. Who were the bad guys in those movies? God damn it.
You didn't watch them? I thought you saw all the Bond movies.
No, I don't like most of the Bond movies.
I don't like most of
Yeah,
them.
who's in the one that this dude? What's he in that I would know? Let's go wrap this.
All right, I'm gonna tell you the movie.
All right, what's the movie?
Action Jackson.
Who was he? I thought that's James Woods.
Tony Peretti in Action Jackson. So he's in the movie. Like he might not be the main bad guy, but he's in the movie.
Goodness gracious! You know, on the way home, I'm gonna. All right. Rudy Ray Moore, Mr. T.
Hey, say it with your chest.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
I'm so sad about Flash Gordon. Yeah, so he's in Dolomite with Rudy Ray Moore. Rudy Ray Moore's in Penitentiary 2 with Mr. T. Mr. T is in Rocky 3 with Carl Weathers. And Carl Weathers is in Action Jackson.
With Robert Davey.
With Robert Davey.
There you go. Who, not for nothing.
No. He's a great...
Robert Davey
Yeah.
was also in License to Kill with Timothy Dalton. And Timothy Dalton was in...
I don't... Oh, shut up. Yes.
I'm trying to throw you a bone.
Yes. He's in Flash Gordon. See, this is where my intense dislike of Marky Mark jams me up too, because I only know him in like 3 movies because I don't really rock with him like that. Because I was trying to get to Boogie Nights.
Okay.
But I couldn't get to it in 3 moves.
No.
I mean, I probably could.
Boogie Nights? Well, I guess if you go through Jim Brown, you can get there in 3 moves.
Jim Brown's not in Boogie Nights?
No, but I'm saying Derville Martin had to do some movie with Jim Brown.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like Fred Williamson was really his boy.
Yeah, that's who kept.
Like unfortunately, I was gonna have to do the 2-step to get to Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get right to.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Because Jim Brown is in Bucktown with Pam Grier.
Yes.
So Derville Martin is in Sheba Baby, I think,
with
Pam Grier, which then gets you to Jim Brown
in Bucktown.
Which then gets you to
Burt
Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds and 100 Rifles. Gets you to Boogie Nights. With Mark Wahlberg.
Which then gets you to Sam Jones, who's in Flash Gordon with Timothy Dalton. There you go. I forgot about Bucktown.
Yeah, well, you shot your load.
I know. I know. It's only 8:11. Oh, I'm so angry. You can see I was just,
yeah, I saw.
I can't believe I forgot about Bucktown. Because, that's like the only thing Jim Brown and Pam Grier are in together.
Yeah, I was trying to make, because they're in the movie.
Right, because it's Fred Williamson and Pam Grier that really.
Yeah.
Well, that's not right, because I knew he was with Fred Williamson, so I could have gotten to Fred Williamson to Jim Brown.
Yeah, but it's still.
It's something.
It's more direct the way you did it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to Pam, then
all right,
Jim Brown. But
I don't want to play this. Go ahead, dude. I just want to talk about Flash Gordon.
Well,
yes.
You can't.
Yes, yes,
But you can talk about
yes. Predator 2.
Predator 2. Predator 2 is a 1990 American science fiction action film written by brothers Jim and John Johnson, directed by Stephen Hopkins, and starring Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Ruben Blades, Maria Conchita Alonso, Bill Paxton, Kevin Peter Hall, and, wouldn't you know it, Robert Davey.
Who plays the lieutenant or the captain? I'm not sure.
Who also starred in License to Kill with Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
And Timothy Dalton was in...
Flash Gordon.
All right. Predator 2 is the second installment of the Predator franchise and the sequel to 1987's Predator, with Kevin Peter Hall reprising the title role. Set 10 years after the events of the first film in Los Angeles, Predator 2 focuses on a disgruntled police officer and his allies battling a technologically advanced extraterrestrial, all in the midst of a drug war zone that is Los Angeles. This film, which on a budget of $30 million, grossed $57 million in 1990, was Vincent's selection for tonight's stop in Octavia, April. Vincent, what say you of Predator 2?
Well, when you talk about a sequel, especially a direct sequel, you obviously compare it immediately to the film that is a sequel of. As we mentioned last week, I think the real bar that a sequel has to clear is whether or not it justifies its own existence.
Exactly.
And certainly one of the more provocative things that I've said over the years, just to kind of stir the pot, is I've gone places and we've talked and I said, well, Predator 2 is clearly better than Predator. And it's just a type of thing that, because it's not better than Predator.
No.
Like, Predator is, frankly, damn near perfect.
Pretty good.
Like, just in form and the way it works and just the way it unfolds. I always think the casting of Arnold Schwarzenegger as this 80s alpha male military mercenary archetype is perfect. And you think you're going in that it's going to be something like Commando. He's got this group of men, and is speaking of Carl Weathers and all of these big men, and they go out and then come to find out there's something bigger and badder than them in the jungle, transforms into basically almost a horror film. And then it kind of transforms back into a play on arena with this man on man. Yeah. And it's just tight, it's solid, it's beautiful. But in Predator's kind of tightness, it really is a self-contained story. Like, Predator is very much a movie that does not need a sequel.
Not at all.
It is a full meal in and of itself. What Predator 2 does, though, is that it picks up some breadcrumbs.
Yes.
That were laid out in the first film. I think when you look at the first film, there is a hint that this alien is basically a big game hunter.
Yes.
Like there's a detail, like it cleans the skulls of its victims and holds it up like a trophy. But it's never really explored in Predator. Like it really is just this monster. And I think while Predator 2 isn't a better movie than Predator, I think Predator 2 is a better Predator movie than the other Predators, because this is the film
the better of the sequels
that really sets up the foundation for everything that we talk about. And frankly, I think this is the primary reason that we talk about Predator as a franchise. While it's not as good as Predator, I think this is a film that is chock full of ideas. Just along the lines of Predator himself, while the implication in the first film that this is an alien. There's nothing really in the first film that lets you know it's part of an entire race.
Not at all. Not at all.
This
I think it's a
film-
one-off.
This film establishes that this is a race of predators. This film also establishes more fully that, frankly, they are big game hunters. Like I've always said, for a film called Predator, it's actually that's actually not an accurate title, because a predator preys on prey to eat it.
Yeah.
These are just big game hunters, which along those lines, this is a film that frankly just makes more sense when you read about the development of the film. The writer said they wanted this to take place in a quote unquote urban jungle, which makes sense. Like if you are a big game hunter and you're going after this prize, it makes sense to hunt it in its natural environment, frankly. And in the late 20th century, man's natural environment is a city.
Yes.
Like you running around in your environment chasing after something isn't really that sporting. Like I beat a shark's ass in a record store. But what's that? Like I'm not getting in the water with the shark.
I'll take 20 on the shark.
Yeah, but see, I'm going to use my advanced technological skill and evolutionary development to use a door. And I'm just going to walk out the record store and go next door and get a cup of coffee for an hour. And then I'm going to come back and carve my initials in the side from the back.
Still from the back.
So, the fact that this is in an urban space and the film establishes early that the predator is stalking Danny Glover's Harrigan character as its possible prey. The film is set 10 years after the first film. First film was set in 1987. This is set in 1997, which means now you have future LA. And it's very much this there's almost a hint of a dystopia.
I had that in my notes.
There's a
as well.
hint of a dystopia where things have fallen apart. There's the two gangs, the Jamaican gang and the Colombian gang, the Jamaican drug posse, voodoo posse, and the Colombian Scorpios have this amazingly over-the-top ordinance, this military ordinance, and they're shooting at each other, and everything is sort of down. And in the midst of this, you have this small tactical unit dealing with it, again, headed by Danny Glover as Lieutenant. Let me see. I like the.
I thought it was Harrigan.
Harrigan, yeah, it is. Lieutenant Mike Harrigan and his friend, perhaps his best friend, Danny Boy, Detective Danny Arcuda, played by Ruben Blades, as we mentioned. There's also Maria Conchita Alonso as a detective, and then new hotshot detective,
A very young
Bill Paxton. And Lynn, I gotta tell you, I could watch these four actors portraying these detectives in this near future world, solving crimes, dealing with the crime, because I really like all four of these actors. And I like them together. The little bit that you get, you actually don't get as much of them as I would like, because, the nature of the Predator film. The gangs themselves, as we've sort of joked about, are gloriously over the top. Like, they are so gloriously over the top, so gloriously racist, that it actually circles back around for me, where I found them unintentionally hilarious. There's a moment in the beginning of the film where the Colombian drug gang runs into a building and they're all grabbing guns and speaking this broken movie Spanish, and they're throwing cocaine at their own noses. And there's no way I'm supposed to take this seriously. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We've already talked about the Jamaican voodoo posse, which I don't think anything in that sentence is culturally accurate.
No.
But they've got dreadlock wigs, smoking ridiculously huge
joints, not blunts,
listening to some reggae music put together by someone who's never apparently heard reggae.
By a white man who thinks he can put together reggae.
And again, it is so ridiculously racist. It's farce. It's actually farce. Mm-hmm. So even that, like something with this crack squad fighting this farcical drug gang, I was entertained by that. Speaking of Predator itself, there are more ideas in the last 15 minutes to set up what we've talked about with Predator than in any other Predator film. The concept of Alien versus Predator actually predates this film.
It does.
There was a comic book, there was a novelization where they said Alien versus Predator. And according to the reports, it was almost a joke that the set designer put the skull of the alien in the trophy room on the alien ship. But it is such an evocative image.
Yeah.
All of these images.
It's all these different alien skulls.
All these different alien skulls so that you get the sense these are big game hunters. And then literally the throwaway moment at the end where the head of the alien of the Predator Tribunal throws Danny Glover's character an old gun because Danny Glover has defeated the main Predator, and this is a sign of respect. And he throws him a pistol from 1715, which lets you know just how long these Predators have been here. And then my absolute favorite idea in this film, an idea that every time that they announce a Predator series, movie, whatever, there's a Predator anthology that's coming on Hulu in a couple of weeks that apparently is going to bounce around history. And I hope and pray they revisit this. Again, this film occurs 10 years after the first Predator. In those 10 years, a government agency has been following, tracking, researching the Predator. This is 1990. This is, I believe, 3 years before the X-Files.
Yes.
Gary Busey and Adam Baldwin heading this top secret organization that is investigating the Predator. I've wanted a spinoff of this agency since this movie came out. I loved everything about them tracking the Predator and thinking that they understand the Predator and how's the Predator work and all that. So in a lot of ways, this film, as a film, reminds me of my beloved Escape from the Planet of the Apes, where much like this, no one is ever going to say Escape from the Planet of the Apes is better than the first Planet of the Apes. But if you enjoyed Planet of the Apes, this is the most important film in the series, and everything that comes out off of it.
It's gravy.
But this is, Escape is the foundation. Predator 2 obviously is not better than Predator. But everything that comes after, this is the true foundation.
That's right. This is right.
But we're on the Micheaux mission, and we talk about black films. And for our conversation, I am endlessly fascinated by Danny Glover as Lieutenant Mike Harrigan, the head of this crack detective squad who ends up being the protagonist, who ends up fighting the Predator. Unlike the aforementioned Action Jackson, you can tell this was not written initially for a black man.
Okay.
He has more agency. He has more movement. He has more actual verve. Then damn near, I mean, certainly more than any black man in a science fiction film up there. I mean, we've talked about like the pickings are slim to none. Like you got you got Joe Morton in A Brother from Another Planet, but that's damn near an art house flick.
Exactly.
And you've got Louis Gossett Jr. under 4 pounds of makeup in Enemy Mine. He is active. He is an action hero. And much like we talked about with the old guard, I think you get different energy with someone who's an actual actor.
Yes.
The thing that I notice a lot about Mike Harrigan to this viewing is that he is in charge of people. Like he gives the orders. This is not a lone wolf like most of, like, say, the Eddie Murphy characters are.
Yeah.
Like he has
battled with a partner.
He has authority.
Yeah.
And Danny Glover has the amount of gravitas where you think this is a man that's someone played by Ruben Blades, someone played by Maria Conchita Alonso, someone played by a very hot shot but very capable, not Alec Baldwin,
Adam Baldwin.
no, the Bill Paxton.
Oh.
This is a man that they would defer to. So that just as this image of blackness, I think he's really unique.
Yeah.
In action films, generally.
Well, he said this. That's what made him want to do the movie.
Yeah, and certainly in science fiction films. So that I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Predator 2.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it too. It's funny. It is very over the top, right? In everything. The opening scene where the Colombian drug gang,
the Scorpions,
they're going up against really the police.
I believe it's pronounced El Scorpions. That's how they pronounce it.
The El Scorpinos.
Yes.
They are going up against the police. This might as well be like Saving Private Ryan. Like people are just getting murked in the street, and like there are explosions in the street, and you're talking about you know, the gangs have all this weaponry. When Danny Glover and his crew come down, and I know that this is technically like it's supposed to be 10 years after the original, so it's 1997, so it's quote unquote future Los Angeles, but it's not so future. In 10 years, handguns are not going to develop into the rocket launchers, the private rocket launchers that Danny Glover and his guys carry around in this entire movie. Because for a long time, I remembered many things about this movie, but one of the primary things that I remember about this movie is that Danny Glover carries the largest gun on earth.
Yes, he does.
In this movie. Now, as a black man, I'm like, yes, you do, Danny.
Well,
carry your gun, dog.
It's not subtle.
It's not subtle at all. And like a black man, he takes that joint out the holster every chance he gets.
He whips it out, which in contrast, as we said, Action Jackson, Carl Weathers doesn't have a gun the whole movie.
That whole movie. Not Danny Glover. Danny Glover is walking around with his gun and he hanging it low. He hanging it low the entire movie.
Yeah. It's deep too.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he got more in the trunk.
And he has more in the trunk.
More in the trunk. So that's what I always remember about this movie. And the violence in this movie, because you even joked to me, you text me, you was like, oh my God, I love these 80s movies. This is 1990.
Yeah.
And this may be one of the most violent movies I've ever seen.
It has the heart of the 80s.
Yo, man. But everything is so over the top, you don't mind because you realize, oh, this is a cartoon. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this is. This is nothing but a cartoon where the violence is happening and, yeah, people are dying, but as long as it's the right people dying, you don't care.
Right.
It's the drug gangs, a couple of cops die.
Yeah.
You know? So you don't care. And these guns, they literally look like they were made out of Legos just to make them as big as possible. Mm-hmm. So you can't even take them seriously, right? Then it's almost as if while this is set in Los Angeles, however, the sun is by way of Miami. Because there is this movie, there is so much sweat.
Yeah.
In this movie.
It's hot in Los Angeles.
Oh my God, it is so
it's a heat wave.
Hot. You want to, please, can somebody change your shirt? Because the sweat stains are all over the place. Nobody takes a shower. Like Danny Glover literally walks back to the police station in the shirt. Like, you know how your shirt gets discolored because of your sweat? There's like a spot of the original color on his shirt. And he takes his shirt off and he just puts on another shirt.
He's at work. Super crime.
Dog, man,
Jamaican voodoo posses.
Dude, man, like go in the bathroom, you do like the come on, man. Mm-hmm. You do something, you do the Deadwood dance or something, dog. Like, no, it's like, this movie just looked like everybody stank. It's like I could smell this movie. I don't know if I
expected this detail to be the one that stuck out.
I could smell this movie, man. It was like, oh my God, y'all stink. Y'all stink, man. Oh my God. It's a fun look. I'm having fun with the movie, but I can't get over this.
That's what you can't get over.
These huge guns. The women are wearing. The women have guns hanging low.
Hey, women's lib.
Yes, they were. Cause I got mine. Go get yours.
Yeah.
She's grabbing at it. She's grabbing at Bill Paxton's gun.
Yeah.
But so it's a cartoon. The commentary on look, the racial politics in this movie is all over the place. But I couldn't even buy that. I didn't even mind that because it is very much an international cast. I mean, it's Danny Glover, it's Maria Conchita Alonso, Ruben Blades.
Right.
I mean, like even the forensics lady, she had like some kind of like weird European accent. Like everyone's got an accent.
Yeah, everyone has
Bill Paxton is the other in this movie.
Yeah, and even he has that all shucks Bill Paxton accent. Yeah.
And now, don't ask me what accent Calvin Lockhart is doing as King Willie.
King Willie. Why was his name King Willie, Lynn?
Why was it Calvin Lockhart? Oh my God, Calvin Lockhart. Have you had to come to this?
Hey, look.
I mean, look.
Look, you do what you gotta do.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, because, you know, Calvin Lockhart is royalty here on the mission.
Yeah.
But Calvin Lockhart, he shows up, you're like, oh my God, it's Calvin Lockhart.
And then he's in one scene.
And then he's gone.
I know.
Then he's gone. I mean, well, technically, he's in another scene, but it's just his head.
Right. Spoiler.
So at that point, I'm like, all right, just enjoy the ride of this movie.
Absolutely.
But like you say, the crazy part about it is that this movie picks up all of those little just like clues and crumbs from the first movie, and then starts building the mythology. And they still, and as much as like this is an action film, it's set in urban Los Angeles, so there's dialogue over the place, and there is some lip service about this drug war.
Sure.
And it literally is a war.
It's the Colombian Scorpions
and the
Jamaican drug posse.
Yes, like
headed by King Willie.
This war is so intense. Like, why would you come out your house?
Yeah.
I mean, like, they are wetting the streets up, right? But as much as that dialogue is going on, this movie is still smart in that the Predator actually does talk a little bit more than I would have preferred. But it's still that same type of talking, like mimicking what he's
right. He just uses
right.
the phrases that people say.
Right. There's a little bit too much of that here that really doesn't like add anything to the movie. I think just it's like, well, we'll give you a couple more lines. Will you do the Predator again? He said, okay, sure. But other than that, the mythology is built out just by context clues.
Right.
Which was what the beautiful thing about the first movie is. So they purposely smartly don't go away from that with the sequel. So with that part, it's crazy that the villain part of it is the smart part of the movie. Like, everything else is just dumb action.
Right.
Danny Glover's character is just another alpha male that he locks on to. That's the one I'm going to go up against. There's another weird scene where he's almost going to kill a woman, but he doesn't, because he senses there's a heartbeat within her and that she's pregnant.
Right.
Even though like his infrared shows like damn near a full blown baby in her stomach, yet she's not showing at all that she's pregnant.
That concerns you? The accuracy of the depiction of someone who's pregnant?
I noted it.
I
wasn't concerned
in the sweat stains.
I just took note.
Yeah.
I wrote notes.
Movie about an interstellar alien big game hunter who comes to Earth, but okay,
but the sweat stains.
But the sweat stains. Yeah.
And honestly, I was surprised that there's no real soundtrack in this movie.
Yeah.
I was expecting more like, it's Los Angeles, 1990. You gotta give me something.
Give you something.
Like even if
you couldn't hear it over the gunfire.
Maybe I need. So you're saying I need to watch it again to listen for some Warren G?
Maybe.
Because I was just surprised it wasn't there, right? But I will also say outside of that, and then I did enjoy Danny Glover having fun because in the Lethal Weapon movies, which are your holy grail, he very much is the straight man.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Right. He's a straight man in those movies.
Deal. That's his whole deal.
And then in pretty much everything else that we've seen him in, he's kind of like, it's either drama.
Right.
And it's like kind of like intense drama.
Right.
Or he's just in character actor mode.
Right. Absolutely.
Like, or part of an ensemble. Here, and he even speaks of it. Like, he's about 40s. He's in his early 40s. He's in his best shape.
He is.
He's in immaculate shape.
Yeah.
He's lifting weights at the time, he says. He's having fun. He's got his gun out for all to see.
Yeah.
And he's having a ball, just finally playing the hero. And it may be, outside of Action Jackson and the blaxploitation films, it may be the first time or one of the few times in a mainstream film that the black hero is so built up. Like, he is so much the alpha superhero, smarter than everybody else in the room.
Right.
Define everybody because I know better. Figures everything out before everyone else. And is also still the strongest man in the room, the baddest man on these streets. And to see somebody with the pedigree of Danny Glover actually get to portray that and have a ball with it, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and to your point, as the hero, referencing both blaxploitation and Action Jackson, I also liked that it was almost this naturalism to how he's a hero. I think one of the challenges with the blaxploitation hero, and certainly we noted this in Action Jackson, where they almost fetishize it, like it's real oily and greasy and everything that goes with that. Like, I love the fact that, as you said, Danny Glover is in great shape, but you see it by how he moves through the world, not because he's, shirtless. Like, there's that moment that you talk about where he changes his shirt. I thought that was shot so well.
Yeah,
where he changes his shirt and you realize, oh, he's kind of cock diesel a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he puts his shirt back on.
And he's kind of like, he's like in the background.
And he's in the background,
scene.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And that's not how I'm defined. Like, I am a detective. And as you say, I loved how competent this squad was. Like, one of the things that I noted, they figure out something is funky.
Right from the door.
Right from the door. It's almost a proto version of that great scene from The Wire, where the MF scene where they take out they have like the tape. Right, they have the tape and they figure out from the angles that
McNulty and Bunk.
They actually have a version of that. Where, Ruben Blades' character and Danny Glover's, they're looking at angles, they're looking at things. Well, he weighs that much, and how'd they get up there? And I love competent characters. Like, you tell me these are detectives. You tell me that this is a crack squad. How do I know it's a crack squad? Because the young character said, I fought to get transferred down here.
Yeah.
But everyone is super competent. I love the fact that Bill Paxton's character is played for a joke. But when it's go time,
he's a competent police officer.
You understand that there's a reason they called him the Lone Ranger.
Right.
But these competent people, again, have a leader, which is Danny Glover's character. And Danny Glover, as you said, I love the fact that in a Predator movie, the last 15 minutes or so, he's chasing the Predator. Like, he is actually the one who is advancing the action. And then I'm sure there are more badass moments in movies. But after he spent this entire movie chasing after this sort of almost invincible creature, finally gets rid of it, and then 12 more step out. And the first thing he says is, who's next?
Yep.
So, again, just this image, I think, is a very powerful one.
Yeah.
And the way it's played. And unfortunately, to circle back, you can tell it wasn't written for a black man.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, you can tell it wasn't written for a black man.
It was written originally for, they thought, Patrick Swayze?
They thought, well, when negotiations broke down with Arnold Schwarzenegger, they actually also talked to Steven Seagal.
That's who it was, Steven Seagal.
Yeah, they talked but Steven Seagal wanted to be a special operative, CIA agent, CIA super agent.
More specifically, he wanted to be a CIA psychiatrist who was also a martial artist.
I'm basing him on a little character from literature that you may or may not have heard of called Batman. So again, I think, I don't think it's a film that stands on its own merits. Like, I don't think Predator 2 is a film that you watch. Like, I've never seen a Predator movie. Okay, well, go watch Predator 2.
No, that's not what you watch.
Right.
No.
But I do think it is a film that justifies its own existence. A.
Yes.
which again is the bar for sequels as far as I'm concerned.
I give you that.
And furthermore, I think this is the most important Predator film in the franchise. I think the best Predator film is Prey.
Yes.
But there would be no Prey without Predator 2.
Yes.
So,
yes. I give you that. So the most important film in the franchise is Predator 2.
right.
Absolutely.
And which leads to the best film in the whole franchise, including Predator.
Yeah. Right.
Which is Prey.
Which is Prey. I would agree with that. Yes, absolutely. But the question is, well, two questions, just to be fair.
Okay.
Because this is an international cast.
Yeah.
Is this a black film?
I think it's absolutely a black film. I think the dynamic of Danny Glover's character is wholly unique until you get to because again, I think all the Eddie Murphy movies are kind of beast in and of themselves, like they're just Eddie Murphy movies.
Yeah.
And, and even the Will Smith, like the big Will Smith movies, he's a young hotshot.
Yeah. Yeah, I got thoughts about Will, but I want to save them for when we review Sinners.
I don't know. I don't know the next time you see a black male character in a genre film like this complex. I can't think off the top of my head the next time you see one like this. Maybe Blade?
Django?
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about in genre.
Well, genre?
Yeah.
Django's genre.
I mean, even Django is he's like a badass. I mean, he loves his wife. Like he's just a man. I'm talking about, again, this is a man with authority. This is a man who has this combination
So that's
of
the
action and sort of this cerebral aspect. Like the black character in the action film is either the lone wolf, so no one has to defer to him, or he's almost the defanged, angry black sergeant who bangs his hand on the desk. It says, "Turn to give me your badge and your gun."
Okay. All right. Well, then.
So yeah, just like if there's no Predator in the movie at all, it's like this film is set 2 weeks before Predator 2. I find his character fascinating.
Well, if there's no Predator in the movie, then maybe we get some more Calvin Lockhart, and it's definitively a black movie. But yes, I would agree. I would say that it's a black movie. Now, with that settled, would you recommend Predator 2?
With provisos. I think if you enjoy Predator, if you like the Predator series, you have to watch it. I think if this conversation about images of blackness in science fiction during this moment interests you, I also think you should watch it. But if you just, I like black movies, I listen to y'all talk about black movies, thumbs up, thumbs down, I think you could probably skip it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're so to watch it just strictly on the basis of it being a black film, you're thinking you could
outside of the context again of where it stands in this conversation, I don't know how valuable it is.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
And you?
And now you got me changing my point of view on it a little bit, or at least looking at it through a different lens. But I think at its heart, I would recommend it.
Okay.
Because it is a wild, wild movie. You're never going to see Danny Glover or Calvin Lockhart like you see them in this movie.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. And if you are a fan of the Predator franchise, like you pointed out, I think that there are only 3 movies to see. Predator, Predator 2, because it's the one that really starts the mythology, really, of the Predators, and then junk everything and go straight to Prey. And that's it. Then you've seen every Predator that's worth seeing. But I do think that this is worth seeing. And watching the first Predator and then watching Predator 2, following it by Prey, because Predator 2 is, like you said, the most important film in the franchise, but it also is a little bit of a distillation of where the series goes a little bit as well. You know, don't know whether or not do we want to lean on the sci-fi, do we want to lean on the action?
It's a good point.
You know,
it's a very good point.
It doesn't really know. And this one is just so over the top with both, but the science fiction is still smart, which at the end of the day, it's over the top as you want your sci-fi. You still want it to kind of like touch your brain a little bit, right? And I think this touches it just enough. I think this is a perfect melting pot of all that other goat that followed it. So see Predator 2 and then watch Prey,
which then takes it back to its roots.
Exactly, takes it all the way back.
Yeah.
To
Prey is barely science fiction.
I know,
which makes it so great.
Oh, such a great film. Yeah, so that's what I would recommend.
Okay,
All right, but that is our review of Predator 2. Let us know what you thought. You can email us at micheauxmission@gmail.com, MICHEAUX, MISSION@gmail.com. And now, before we tell you what we're going to be reviewing with our very special guest next week in the 5th week of Octavia, April, I invite you to follow the Micheaux Mission on your favorite social media. That means Instagram, Facebook. Hey, we're even on TikTok, I hear. You can follow us at Micheaux Mission. You can also find the Micheaux Mission streaming live every Tuesday night on YouTube, where you can subscribe, hit the bell, and be notified of when we go live and when we put up all of our new videos and our shorts. The Micheaux Mission streams live from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace. If you want to book you and your podcast at one of the fabulous studios that they have here, email our man Dylan at youngjunk.com. That's Dylan, DYLAN, at youngjunk.com. The Micheaux Mission is also a proud member of The Podglomerate, thepodglomerate.com. They make podcast work such as ours, which will be returning next week, next Tuesday, here live, where we will have our very special guest. She is undeniably a superstar in the podcasting world. The award-winning podcaster, host of The Secret Adventures of Black People, Nicole Hill, will be live on Zoom as we review See You Yesterday.
Yeah.
A fun, thoughtful time travel romp brought to you next week here on The Mission. Until then, he's Vincent, I'm Len, and in parting we say,
we'll see you when it's time to meet again.
Young John!